So good morning, and thank you for coming to this session about EndNote. So my name is Peter Masrat, and I work for Alfasoft. And I also have a background in research and in microbiology. So the reason why I normally say this, the reason I started working commercial with EndNote is because I realized how big of a waste of intellectual resources it is to handle your references manually. There is a lot of tasks involved there that is just basic administration. Deciding whether it should be a bold title or a title in italics and things like that. But with that said, let's have a look at EndNote and see if I can show you something good here. So I want to promote our support page. You can see it here, support.alfasoft.com, where we have a dedicated session or dedicated area only for EndNote with some how-to articles and solutions for you. So let's see if I can click on the correct one here. Here we go. So what is EndNote? EndNote is an online search tool. So it's a tool to search online bibliographic resources like online databases and retrieve references directly into your EndNote library. And when I say EndNote library, I will mean the EndNote database. It's also a reference and full text organizer with a tool to collaborate as well with colleagues. But it will keep all your material organized and accessible, and I'll be showing that further on. It is, of course, a tool that will create and format your citations in your text and a bibliography or reference list at the end of the text in different styles. But I will try to show you that it's also a tool that will help you validate your references. And this is a really cool feature. So that's new for EndNote 20. It's even new for EndNote 20.2. So you need to update your EndNote 20 to get this. And then it can also help you to publish your article or find a place to publish and to synchronize your references online. So what are we going to look at today? Well, I'm going to show you how to create a library. There are some things that I want to point out there. To add some data, some reference information. We will be looking at how to use EndNote in Word, Cite while you write, when you're writing your manuscript. We will look at how you validate, how you can use EndNote or how EndNote helps you validate references, which I find a really, as I said before, a nice feature. And then also how it can help you publish. And I'll be running everything basically in EndNote to show you as much as possible of the software itself. So let's see if we can create a library here. Here we go. So I started EndNote, and EndNote always asks me, this is something that I try to emphasize every time, EndNote will always ask you where to store your library. So I will create a new library, and there's some things to think about here when you do that. It's very important where you store your library. And I'll try to show you that in a few seconds. So when you store your library, it's very important to store it on a place that's not synchronized. So avoid Dropbox, OneDrive, iCloud, Box, and all of those kind of online cloud solutions, because it's a form of syncing, and also network drives. So where you should store it is also always locally on your computer. This is the strong recommendation. It's because it's a database that we're working with here. So let's continue with creating a new library. So I'm just going to start a library here, and I'm going to save it in a folder. Let's do that. Let's save it under here, and I'm going to call it Online Day. You can give it any name and click save. So this is my EndNote library. Let's make it a little bit bigger. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to go to the preferences here, and I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit bigger, all the text in EndNote. There we go, a little bit bigger. So yes, with that said, when you start with EndNote, basically you can use EndNote directly to go and download information. So I can click on my online search here to the left. I can go to PubMed in this case. If I click on the plus sign here, I will get access to a couple of thousand online databases that I can connect to. If you're in an organization, you will most likely have access to all the online databases that organization subscribes to. So I'm going to search for sushi here, and I sometimes get the question why I search for sushi. And the reason why I do that is because if I search for, let's say, cancer, I get a little bit more than 4.5 million hits. If I search for bacteria, I get a little bit more than 2.5 million hits. If I search for sushi, I get 600 hits. It's a little bit more easier to control what I'm working with. So in this case, I'm going to check some of the references here that I want to save. Let's do that for something like 10 references. So these ones I want to save. I want to click on the plus sign here and add them to my reference. EndNote will keep adding information to the groups panel here to the left. And you can see that I now have, in all references, I have 9 references in total. So that's my library. When we look at that, well, let's collect some more. Let's go straight to PubMed, because sometimes you have to go to the database website instead. Well, this is interesting. Always, I had skipped this set. I had a nightmare this morning when I started my computer. I got let's turn this off. I got 2 big black windows and everything froze. So I had to restart 2 times. So let's keep our fingers crossed. So I'm going to go to PubMed in this case and show you how it works from working from the online database website instead. So I'm going to search for sushi here as well and see what we get. We get some results here. It's only 366 results, and the reason is because I already told it to only get me free full text references. So I should be able to get free full text to these. So I'm going to take some here and highlight those. And then I'm going to send them to my EndNote. So I'm going to send it to my citation manager in this case. Yes, all of these 6, and create file. What happens is that EndNote immediately get this information pushed to it. So these are the ones, and you can see to the left here, it says imported references. So these are the latest that was imported. So 6 references was pushed to me from my session in PubMed. So let's look at all references again. I have 15 references here. And right now, before we start looking at this, I want to make sure that I don't have any, I don't know if I have any duplicates here. So yeah, well, here it looks like we have duplicates, but I don't want to do that manually, of course. So I'm going to go to library, and I'm going to click on find duplicates. EndNote will search for duplicates and show me them side by side in this case. And I'm going to decide which one I want to keep. If you have a lot of them, you can just click on cancel. You will see that these are synchronized, the scrolling, and any fields that are highlighted in blue, they differ. So it's really easy to find the information fields that differ for some reason. In this case, I'm just going to skip this, click on cancel, and what happens is that EndNote shows me a list of all my duplicates and it keeps 1 reference in each group of duplicates. So I'm just going to click delete, and it deleted all my duplicates. So I have no duplicates here right now. Now, if we look at this, well, we're actually gonna, yes. Let's see. If we look at this, you will be able to see that we have a main window here with all my references, with a lot of reference information in columns. I can adjust this and customize this any way I want to and show whatever information I want to. To the right, you will have a preview or a summary window showing you a summary of that reference with all the information collected from the online database. If I click on edit, up here to the right, I will be able to edit that specific reference and fill out any fields that I have here. And I also have a PDF here. We're going to look at that in a moment because I don't have any PDFs right now. Down below, you have this field, which is a sort of a preview field, and it shows you how this reference will look like in a reference list. And if I click on this here, you will see what reference list. These are all my favorites. If I click on select another style, it will show me a list of all available styles with EndNote. And you can see here that I have access to more than 7,500 different formatting styles. So let's just change this and go to and take Harvard, a generic style, and you will see how this reference looks like in that generic style. And I can click on then, let's take nature, for instance. So this is the format for nature. A nice thing to know here, a tip is that let's say that you want to add this reference, or let's say that I want to add several references. These 3 references here, I want to add them to another software. I want to to add them to a list somewhere. I can click on copy here. That means that all of these 3 references will be copied in the format that I can see previewed here. So let me show that by opening the notepad here and just paste it, Control V, and you will see that those 3 references are pasted in that format. So it's a good way to, if you want the reference information into another software of any kind. While doing this, I'm going to just highlight all of these because we want to add even more information here. And what I'm after here is, of course, the actual journal, or not the article, to be able to read the article. So I'm just highlighting everything here. And I'm going to click on this magnifying glass here where it says search the web for full text documents. So that means that EndNote will go online right now, and you will see to the right here, left here, you will see a group find full text, and you can see the progress there. So EndNote will be searching for online for full text PDFs here, and of course I only have access to free PDFs, full text PDFs. So that will affect how many I find here. If you're sitting on a university, you have access to all of those subscriptions they have for full text, so you will have a much better hit rate. I think it's almost done. What it does is that it uses the DOI number. You will see it here, the DOI number, and I like to emphasize this DOI number. So I'm actually going to show you that for you. For those of you who doesn't know what the DOI number is, I'll be showing you. See if I can show you that quickly. So the DOI number it's a digital object identifier. Let's click on the correct one. There we go. Digital object identifier, and it's a unique number that every published document on internet gets since I think it's 2004 maybe. But they are working backwards, and it's I mean you can identify an article, for instance, in many ways, by title and author, by accession number, ISSN. You have a huge number of different ways to do this. All of these are non-specific. The title and author can, of course, be, you can have multiple articles with the same title, even the same authors. You can have accession number, the one in the middle, that's a specific number for a specific database, not a specific number for a publication. But what you have is the digital object identifier, which is or DOI number, if you ever hear that. It is a number that is unique in all of these databases. It's the same number. It should be the same number everywhere. And EndNote use this to find published documents. And I emphasize this, and we'll see further on here that how important this number can be. So if you have it, it's really, really good. So what EndNote does is that it goes online and uses this DOI number to look for the published documents in this case, and download and add them to EndNote. So you can see here that there's paperclip here, and if I click on this one, we can see that there is a added PDF file here. I can click on the PDF tab up here to the right and preview the PDF for myself. I can also click on the actual PDF and open it either with a built-in PDF reader or with an external PDF reader of my choice. I'm going to use the built-in, so it will open in a separate window, and I can zoom it and make it bigger if I want to. So if I take this, I can mark information here, so I can highlight text, and I can highlight that text. I can add a comment here, so I will add a comment, and I will add then my name. Masrod, have a look at this and say that. Just remember, whenever you do changes or annotations like this information is actually saved in the actual PDF file. So if you send the PDF file to someone else, they will also have access to this annotation that you make. Yes, I want to change the information. What's really important here is that the PDF files that you attach to a reference will be indexed. So what does that mean? It means that whenever you search in EndNote, you will be able to search all the reference information, but you will also be searching, if you want to, all the full content of the PDF file. So you will actually search within the text in the PDF file as well, which can really expand your possibilities to find relevant reference for you to work with. So if we look at this find full text that we ran here, it gives you some more information. So it gives you a list of all the references where it actually found a PDF file, an attached one. You can see that by the paperclip here. In some of them, it didn't find a PDF to download, but it did find a URL. So it added the URL here, the link, and you can see that if I click on that, it will open up my web browser and take me to that publicist's website for that article, and I can probably get the PDF from here instead. So it tries to help you in different ways and to keep on moving. And for then some of them, of course, it didn't find anything anything to download or add. Just remember that when EndNote does this search, it goes to a database called Crossref and try to find the reference information. If Crossref doesn't answer within a certain time, it just goes on and asks information for the next reference in line in order not to hang. So you can run this multiple times and you will get different results. So for these three, for instance, if I do it tomorrow, I might get some of these references tomorrow. Another way, of course, is to get information into to EndNote is to import. You already have PDFs, so I will show you that I have some PDFs here in lying around on my computer. You might say full text articles as PDFs. So I will click on File and I will import those. A separate file here. It will ask me what file I want to import, and it will go to. Let's see if I can find one here. So I'm going to take one. In this case, this is called, of course, it has a DOI. Again, the DOI number is important. The DOI number here, whenever I import this PDF file, EndNote will scan the PDF file looking for the DOI number. So I'm going to click on Open here, and it will use that DOI number to find the reference online, reference information online. Important, you have to tell it that it's a PDF file that you're actually importing. Otherwise, EndNote doesn't know what to do with it. So let's click on Import. It will scan the PDF file, trying to find the reference information, and here it found it. So all of this information was collected from online from EndNote, creating collecting all the relevant reference information, and of course then adding the PDF file to that reference. But you can also import. Let me show you that. So I have a folder here called PDF tree. So I have a top folder with subfolders. If I open this, you will see I have three subfolders here, with each containing a PDF for me. So I want to keep this because I already created this structure on my computer, and I want to keep this now that I start using EndNote. Well, EndNote can do that. So let me do this. Let's keep a look at this group folder here. When I do this, I'm gonna import again, but this time I'm gonna import a folder instead, not a file. So I'm gonna import a folder. EndNote asked me what folder it is, and it's this PDF3 tree. I'm gonna import that top folder. I will tell EndNote to include any files in subfolders, and I will tell EndNote to create a group set. So these are my groups, a group set for this import, and it's PDF that I'm importing again. So let's click on import. It will run the same again, trying to find the DOI number, trying to find the reference information online, and then creating my references for me. So these are the three references that was imported. They were all imported, one for each of these groups. So I have this genome group here containing a reference with related to a genome. This is regular T cells, and here's my reference for that, and so on and so forth. Really, really cool. It's also possible to go, if I'm going to go to my preferences here and for EndNote, and I'm going to set up an auto import folder. Let's see, it takes a while now. There we go. I'm going to go to this PDF handling here, where I can tell EndNote first of all to rename, and that's what I did. So it renames all my PDF files for me. But I'm going to enable this auto import. So basically, this is let's see if we can find one. So I have this PDF import folder. So I'm going to specify that folder, and I'm going to click apply here. And what this means is that EndNote will scan this folder all the time. So whenever you add a PDF to that folder, EndNote will scan that PDF, trying to find the reference information and import it automatically into EndNote for you. You don't have to do anything when it comes to that. So now we have a number of references here in our library. I'm just going to do something in the background here to show you something later on. I'm a little concerned with my computer because it takes too long to open the preferences in EndNote. It shouldn't take that long, but for some reason it takes a while. Let me see if we have that. So no, that's correct. And let's add. There we go. So let's try and look at how this all works in EndNote then, or in Word when you're going to use Word for to write your manuscript. It's very, very easy. If you want to add a citation, I'm going to show you that in this document. So we want to add the citation in this first document here. So I'm just going to go to EndNote in this case. So we have this toolbar up here. I'm going to go to EndNote straight away instead, and I'm going to sort according to year. So I'm just going to click on the column title here, and everything is sorted, no problem, very, very fast. So we're going to take this one, and I'm going to add that. So I'm going to click on this insert a citation, the citations marks, and this inserted citations at that location where I left my cursor in EndNote. So I'm going to do that, and you can see that it's inserted. Right now, they will be gray marked here, and that's just a setting that I did in Word, so that it's easier for you to see. So everything that EndNote adds and formats here is gray marked, basically. If I want to add several references, I can do that in multiple ways. I can do it the same way we did. I can go to EndNote, but I can also click on the magnifying glass here, and I can get this search window that you can see. So these are all my references right now because I did a search for A, the letter A. So basically search for the letter A anywhere in the reference, which means I will get a list of all my references because they all have the letter A somewhere. So I'm just going to add a couple. We're just going to add 3 here. So I'm going to add, see if we can find any. references. So let's do it with these three, and I click insert, and they will be inserted in that. And you can see that EndNote takes care of everything for me. So I'm just going to do one more here to show you. I'm just going to add this, and I'm going to do it in two ways. So I can go to EndNote again. So let's do that. Let's go to EndNote. Let's take a reference here. This one, I want to add this one. I'm going to click on the well, actually, I'm going to go back to EndNote right now because I don't remember, or to Word, because I don't remember where I put my cursor. So I'm going to go back to Word. There's my cursor. So instead of clicking on the magnifying glass, I'm going to click on the small down arrow here, Insert Citation. And I get a list, and I have, well, insert selected citations. So this means that at where I put my cursor, the references that I selected in EndNote will be inserted. So let's click on that, and it will insert. So it's a good way to keep track of where you left your, if you don't remember where you left your cursor, to have control of that. We're going to do one more here. So I'm just going to show you, if you want to add one more, I'm going to click on Add, Edit, and Manage Citation. That will give me a list of all my citations that I've used in my library, or in my document. And you can see that if I click on it, it will jump to that location in my document. It might be hard to see, but it jumps to that location. So right now I want to work with this one. I want to add another one reference here. So I'm going to click on the small arrow next to Edit Reference. I'm going to insert citation, and it will give me again this search window. So we're going to take one and search for here, but let's say I don't know that, so I'm going to search for Wang, and it will show me all the references with the word Wang anywhere, not only the author, anywhere. So let's take this one, for instance, and you can see that I have Wang here if I look at the reference information at the lower section here. So I'm going to insert that, click Insert. So it's inserted in that location in my citation list here. It's not inserted in my document yet, so I can keep on working here. And as soon as I click OK, then my document is, of course, updated. So that's all fine. Right now it's a numbered style here, but I don't want that. I want an author date style. So I'm going to click on this one and take an author date. Again, these are just my favorites that I see here, the one that I highlighted as favorites in EndNote. But I'm going to click on author date style, and then everything is formatted according to author date. Or I can really, and you can imagine how much time you save with this. I can say, I want to send it to Nature. Well, okay, now it's formatted to send to Nature. Or I want to send it to Science then. Okay, now it's formatted to Science. It's lightning fast. It's really handy and good to do that. I want to show you something else quickly here before we go to the thing that's I really want to show you. I was about to say. So I have this document. So if you're writing something with a lot of sections, right now, EndNote, I added some references here with EndNote. You can see that they are gray marked. I have my bibliography at the very end. I can go to EndNote, and I can reformat that to author, for instance, so author date format. But what if I want the bibliography after each section here? Maybe I want the bibliography after each section with only the citations in that section, and then I want the big bibliography at the end of the document with all my citations. Well, you can do that. You can set up these, edit these output styles, and I have one here. So it's a numbered style with the bibliography after each section, plus the bibliography at the end. So let's click on that. And EndNote quickly creates a bibliography after each section, as you can see, and one big bibliography at the very end of the document. Right now, I set the numbering to be continuously, but you can set it so it starts renumbering each of these. So that's just a tip what you can do in EndNote. It's just a matter of setting it up. So let's go back to EndNote, because now I want to show you how to validate your references. So I have a lot of references here that we added since before. So I just added these references. if you buy EndNote, you can create an EndNote Online account, and you can use the EndNote Online account to sync your references to that, and then you can sync it between two computers. You can share your library to more people. This is getting more and more common within companies and organizations, that they share one big libraries. We have customers sharing libraries with 20,000 plus references, so everyone has the same references. But one thing that's overlooked is the retraction watch. So what is that? Well, Retraction Watch database is a database that includes nearly 30,000 retracted papers or articles. And of course, right now we only have 25 references. But if you have 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 references, it's going to be really hard to find those references that has been, to check every single reference against that. But in EndNote, in the later versions of EndNote, the later versions of EndNote 20 even, you will have a connection to Retraction Watch, and all you need is an EndNote Online account. You don't have to sync to it. You don't have to use it for syncing or sharing. You just have to add your login details. And let's see if I can do that. I'm getting nervous here. It takes too long to open up. But if I go to my preferences, I go to sync, and either I go to enable sync and sign up for a new account, or I add my existing login details. So I'm going to add my login details here. You have to promise not to look. Here we go. Fooled you. You cannot see my password. So I'm just going to add my login details and keep a lookout on the groups menu here. So I'm going to click on OK. Right now, nothing happened here. It all looks the same. So what EndNote does is it waits for you to make any change in your library. So let's go to this one, this reference here, just a random reference. I just want to make a change anywhere in my reference. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a comment of my own in the research notes field. Of course, that's the research notes field is your field as a researcher. So make sure to follow up. I'm just going to add that. So we've done. And now when I click save here, it should work. It should run. There you go, retractions. So I actually have 4 references here that are retracted. So if I click on this, it will show me a list of references that has been retracted. If I highlight one, you have this. You can see that there is a retracted publication here. If I click on this small arrow, I will see the reason why it was retracted. And the way, again, I want to emphasize this, again, what EndNote does is it uses the DOI number, the DOI number to this. So in the background, and that's why it's so fast, in the background, it just checks your DOI numbers of all your references against the Retraction Watch database. And this is just text information. It's lightning fast. So it checked all my 25 in just milliseconds to do that, and it's running that when I open my library, when I close my library, or whenever I edit anything in my library. So I get a highlight here. It creates this group. It's there all the time. It shows me. I can show why. So there are error in the analysis, in the method, and whatever. If I want to read more, I click on read more here. It will open the publisher's website. And you will be able to read why this was retracted. Sometimes it's retracted by the authors because they realize that there are something that needs to be fixed or something that was wrong. Sometimes it's retracted because there were irregularities that shouldn't be there, basically. So you can do this for all of them. Now, I said before that you should keep. So that's one way to validate your reference, make sure. And this is really interesting because we have so far almost all the customers that we have with larger databases, when we introduce this and we run this, they always find references that in their database that has been retracted that they are not aware of. It's not many, but they found it, and you don't want to use that because it's going to be there forever and ever, and it's going to taint your own research as well. So I think it's a really, really important thing, and it's only available in the later versions of EndNote. Now, let's do another thing. Let's take all my references here. Oh, well, let's go for not all, that's going to take too long. Let's take until 2020 then maybe. So these ones. So I'm going to highlight these references, and I'm actually going to ask EndNote to update these because it might be that I don't have the DOI number for all of them. So I'm going to right click on them and I'm going to click on Find Reference Updates. So right now we have 4 references here that are retracted in this group, 4 references. Remember that. So let's click on the Find Reference Updates. So EndNote will go online and look for reference updates in different ways. And here you can see that, okay, so these are available updates to the left, and this is my reference to the right. They are synchronized again. Any field, here we go, any field that differs are highlighted in blue. So I can quickly scan through them if I want to and see. And right now I can choose here to update. In this case, I'm going to update all fields. Do you want to do this for all my references? No, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to click no. And then we save and continue. And it will look for the next one, of course, to see if it finds anything. So, well, right now I don't want to go through this. I'm going to make it, as safe as possible, my updates, but as fast as possible. So I'm going to tell EndNote, okay, I don't want you to overwrite anything. I just want you to update any empty fields, any information that I don't have. So do that for me. And this time I'm going to say yes. Yes, you don't have to ask me. Do this for all of these references. Yes, go on. So it will be running now. So it's 12 references, and we can see that it runs through them quite fast. This works if you only have the title, could be a trick. If you only add the DOI number in a reference, if you only add the ISSN number, for instance, or the PubMed ID, that's all you need. And you can ask EndNote to get the reference information for you. But right now, I'm just interested in updating these older references that I have in my database at this point. Let's see if we can. I wonder if I can manage to squeeze everything in today. Maybe there won't be any times. So everything is up to date. Click on K. Here we go. Retractions. Not 4 anymore. 7. Because EndNote added DOI numbers for me automatically. It found the DOI number when it did the automated updates. So now all of a sudden, out of my 25, I have seven references that actually been retracted. I don't want to use those. Now you might ask yourself, and this is this is also really, really cool. I'm starting it. This is the end of the presentation. I'm starting to get really excited here. So what about this? I didn't know about this. Maybe I've used those already in my so how do I check that? How do I do that? Well, this is also really, really cool. This is also new. Remember to update if you have EndNote 20, update to the latest version of EndNote 20. That's 20.2, I believe. Then that's when this is introduced. So as soon as I update my document here, I'll do that. Update citations and bibliography. Let's click on that and see if it runs. I've used some references that have been retracted in this document. So this means that this is backward compatible. If you have older manuscripts, older documents, you can actually check those for retractions as well. So this will always show you the same as soon as you change anything regarding the citations or bibliography in your document. This will be activated and it will tell you, okay, so these are retracted. It will add this retraction alert up in the toolbar. This will be here all the time until all of these are removed. It might be that you still want to use them, but until they're removed, this will be here. If you click on it, you will see the same list. For that, if I click on Edit and Manage Citations, for instance, in see list, not edit and manage citations, if I go to insert citations, I mean, if I click on that and want to search for let's search for A again, so it shows all my references. Well, it will highlight the ones that are with a warning sign, all the ones that are retracted. So I don't use them by mistake. So it helps you validate your references. And what you need is an EndNote Online account, and you need to add those login details, and that's it. And you need to update, so make sure that you have the DOI number. The DOI number is what's really important here. Yes, so I want to show you how to publish that, where to publish. I know that I showed some people this before, but it's a function that's really nice, and it might be something that's overlooked. So I'm gonna create a new library here, an empty library, because I'm using EndNote Sync. So I'm gonna create an empty library here. I'm gonna call this synced library. There we go. So I have a sync library here. I've turned on my automated sync in EndNote. So I have to do that manually. Right now I have an empty library here. So I'm going to go to library and click sync. And when I do that, I already added my login details. So EndNote will just try to sync. It will tell me, hang on, you're syncing a library that you haven't synced before. And this is a sync, not a copy. So what it means is that everything locally will be synced to the online. Everything online will be synced to your local library. So that means you will merge the two. But I have an empty, so there's nothing to sync up, nothing to destroy my online. So I'm going to click on OK, and it will start syncing for me. And you can see to the left here, you will see that everything is just going really fast, syncing. If I click on the sync status at the top here, it will check, and you can see the progress bar here where it is at right now. So it's syncing. It's syncing my references for me. Here we go. It looks like it's done. It will give me a summary, tell me what I have locally, what I have online, so I compare. Do I have everything 91 locally, 91 online? Well, it looks like everything is fine. It ran. I have 2 retractions here as well in this one, and I have something else. So I have a lot of groups here. If you can't, you can have 5,000 groups. I haven't talked about the groups here, but you can have up to 5,000 groups. It's going to be really hard to find your groups if you add a lot of groups. So you have this search for groups down here. Let's write the E. Let's write an R, for instance. So it will show me all the groups with the letter R. So let's write reference to RE. So it will show, it shows me those REF. So I get less and less, and it doesn't need to be in the beginning. I can change. I can write the DOI, for instance, and it will show me all the groups with the word DOI. So you can have a lot of groups, and you can find them quickly by using this this filtering or search functionality down here. But what I want to go is I'm already prepared here. So I have this. It's a manuscript of mine. So I'm going to double click on it so I get this summary window. Hopefully, here we go. So I added it as a manuscript in progress. You can see that you can add a lot of files here. So I can add my my calculations, my PDF, my Excel file, for instance. So let's open that. I can open it here. I can work in it. When I save it, it's saved into my library again. So EndNote will then keep track of not only my references or reference information, but other types of file as well. So it opened up in a different window. So here I can see all my data that I've used in this manuscript. Let's close that. I have my PowerPoint here. I have a PDF version of my document, but I also added my manuscript as a Word document. So let's open that from there. So here we go. This is my document. I've used some information here or some references. So now I'm going to use EndNote to try and find somewhere to publish. So I already added my login details. So all I do is I click on Manuscript Matcher. And when I do that, EndNote will log in to my EndNote Online account. It will upload all my citations that I've used and will ask me, okay, I need some more information from you. I need your title and I need your abstract, but I already uploaded all the the 8 citations here. So I can use them to search for comparable. I'm just going to comparable where these, where it's likely that this manuscript of yours will have a good match to publish in. So I just copied my title and my abstract. Just remember, this is a fake article, of course. So with information from others. So it will use where were these citations published, where were the citations in those references published, in those publications published. And it will try to find then, I will click on find journals here. It will try and use this information for me to find a good place to publish. It will show me a match score. It will show me the impact factor for the current year, the last 5 years. It will show me if there are any similar articles. I can click on this. There's a similar article here. If I click on this, I will be able to see what it says. Echolocation. Well, my article is about bats, so that's pretty good. So let's go back to my results again. Did I click? Yes, I did. Here we go. And I can expand this to see more information. And if I find, well, maybe I want to publish in this, I can either to the right here read more about the journal, or I can submit directly to the journal. So it will help you. It will help you collect your references. It will help you use your references in your manuscript. It will help you validate. And when I say it, I mean EndNote. It will help you validate your references by checking against the Retraction Watch database. And finally, it will help you find a place to publish in, which can always be hard to do. Yes, and I wanted to show you something more. I'm just going to wait until they interrupt me here. We will have a lot of, so we have this one that we created, because what we did was that we had this PDF import folder. We told EndNote to scan this PDF import folder all the time. And what I have is I have another folder here with a lot of PDF files that are not published articles, but instead it's protocols for different things. It's other PDFs with information. So I'm just going to drag and drop them to this folder that we told EndNote to scan for all the time, and try to see if it can find any PDF files to import. There you see, it's starting to import, and it creates this imported group here or subfolder to tell me that, so I know what's been imported and not imported. So let's see where it did importing. So it's importing right now. So all of these were imported. It couldn't find any online information, of course, because it's not published articles. Instead, it gives the title name is my name of the PDF file in this case. But if I look at it, I can still read it. I can still search. All the content it's a PDF file. Everything is indexed of the content, so I can search the actual content. I can look at it. So this is a ligation protocol using T4 DNA ligase. Well, I also added the safety sheet for what do we have here? We have ligase. We have our enzymes. So I have the DNA ligase safety sheet here. So that's all stored in one place, easy to find. I can search for then, okay, I have all my references here, and I can search for, well, let's say that I'm into natural science. So let's search for protocol in this case, and it will show me, okay, so these are my protocols here that I have for different things that I want to use. So you can use anything. Here's an ethanol precipitation of DNA, for instance. And you can use EndNote to organize a lot more text information or PDF files than just regular reference information. Torgrim, I think I'm overdue here.
Yeah, I was getting ready to stop you anyways. Yep. Thank you for the great presentations as always, Peter. We had some questions, but I see the time is running out. So as I said in the introduction of this webinar, we will be answering the questions and publish them hopefully beginning next week. Yeah, maybe if you could are there any courses or training for EndNote?
Yes, there are. You can either contact us directly, just send us an email to info@alfasoft.com, and we can help you out, or you can go to our webpage, and we have courses and seminars, and there we will be publishing upcoming trainings in EndNote and our other products as well.
Yeah, so please just contact us if you're interested in either company-wide training or online training.